So you don't have to say it out loud, but just think to yourself. Do you remember a time when you felt like you couldn't do something? A time when you told yourself, I won't even try because I don't believe in myself. Take a moment to reflect, because I'm fairly certain that everybody has felt this way at least one point in their life. I'm guilty as well. I was once a person who was very insecure, a person who always felt incapable and doubtful of myself. This is a problem, whether you realize it or not. Something changed in me though. I was lucky. There was something that motivated me to step up and change how I looked at things. There was a spark. I was able to take control of my life and do what I wanted to do. I believe in taking chances, and I believe in taking advantage of the opportunities that come to you. The courage and strength that has built within me has only led to success, even through failure. It became harder for me to spread this message to everyone I know, and now I have to share it with everybody here. I want you to see why you should take opportunities, and how you can. Today I'm going to talk about 3 points that will tie together at the end. Number 1 is opportunity. Number 2 is the comfort zone. And number 3 is time. So to begin, I'm going to expand a little bit more about myself. As you know, I'm Denise Ocampo. I'm 17 years old, and I'm a senior at my high school. And my life is pretty crazy. There's always something going on, always something on my schedule. Not only do I have school to worry about with AP classes and college, but I'm also quite a few extracurriculars. For example, I'm in both the marching and symphonic band at my school, which takes up about 10 to 15 hours per week, depending just on how busy we are. I'm also in HOSA, Health Occupation Students of America, the National Honor Society, which is essentially a prestigious community service club. There's Best Buddies, which I interact with special needs students. I also work a job for my parents' business, running retail production, a lot of different things. But I can definitely tell you I'm not the only one like this. There are so many students that have lives just like mine. They're always busy, always have something going on. But this gives them so much potential to do great things. But the problem with doubtfulness resides in everybody. The feeling of not being good enough. It's the strongest barrier between us and success. This is going to lead into my first point, which is opportunity. Someone once told me, if you don't try, you'll never know. If you do try, at least you'll know. So much better to know what happens than never trying and always wondering what could have happened. The problem with teens and even adults is that they're always doubtful. They're doubtful in themselves and their skills, which is pretty terrible. Opportunities arise for a reason. They are meant for you to try. They will give you the full extent of life. Waiting on them just delays reaching your full potential. We're all capable of doing great things, and we're all capable of changing the world, so why isn't it happening? People wait too long, people miss deadlines, people are insecure. There are lots of reasons, but if you want to change this for yourself and everyone around you, you need to take control of your life first. You need to realize what you need to do to maximize your own potential. It develops by you spreading the word. Encourage your friends, your family, your colleagues, everyone around you to better themselves. I want to emphasize one thing. There's no harm in trying, but there is harm in not. At least not in the long run. I want you to think back again. Think back on when you did take an opportunity. Think back on how it changed you. What have you learned? How have you grown as a person? Even through the worst failures, you've learned something. Everything you do comes through lesson. And anything that teaches you, I wouldn't really consider it harm because it makes you better. Some of the greatest things in history went down because of a single person taking an opportunity to try and make a difference. During the time of Haitian slavery, Harriet Tubman found the opportunity to escape it in 1849, but she didn't stop there. She immediately grew upon that opportunity and returned to save her family and dozens of other slaves. Another famous woman, Rosa Parks, took a great opportunity as well. When Rosa Parks refused her seat to white passenger on the bus in 1955, it wasn't just an act of defiance. It became a symbol of the civil rights movement. These are just a couple of famous examples, but things like this happen every single day. You just need to take a chance and see what happens. So to me, sometimes, it almost seems like people don't really want to take opportunities, but I think I can tell you why. It's point number 2, the comfort zone. The comfort zone is this little area of things we're okay with doing, but then there's this big area of things we're scared of doing, and it's completely natural. But what if I told you your comfort zone isn't the great zone? Don't get me wrong, you can do good things in the comfort zone. Good, but not great. I'm sure Rosa Parks wasn't comfortable to find those above her, but the fact that she took a step outside of what she was used to doing is admirable. She was courageous, and now her actions are considered great. She expanded her comfort zone. You should always be expanding your comfort zone. That's how you enhance your knowledge and experience. How can you do this? Well, for me, it was just a simple change of perspective. All I have to do is, I want you guys to think as well. Think back on a time you didn't take an opportunity, and think how your life might be different, or that you know, or who would you be. That was enough inspiration for me. Just a simple thought of, who might I be today if I had just swallowed the fear and went for it? But you need to do more than that too. You also need to trust yourself. Trust that you can make the right decision. Trust that you can work things out. And trust that everything will be okay in the end. If you don't convince yourself, you won't convince anyone else. The comfort zone is just this small space of, that we're all cramped in, and a lot of us are terrified to stick a pinky out of it. But it is necessary to break through. The abilities will surprise you. For example, me standing up here right now is a step out of my comfort zone. I've never done any kind of public speaking or anything of the sort, but I wouldn't trade this experience for anything. It is really an honor to be here, so thank you again. So, to move on, when I was a child, and in fact still now, I played a famous video game. I'm sure many of you have heard of it. It's called The Legend of Zelda. My favorite game was called Majora's Mask. The object of this game is pretty much you have 3 days to save the world from being eaten by that guy. So, that's not a lot of time, but there's a trick. You get this magical ocarina in which you can turn back time whenever you like. So pretty much you can go back and do any side quests or whatever you want. You pretty much have unlimited opportunities to do whatever your heart desires. Unfortunately, in our lifetime, we're not gifted anything of the sort. I wish I had a magical ocarina to go back in time and fix my mistakes, but we don't. So time, my third point, makes them disappear like magic. Time is something unique to humans. Humans are the only species that track it down to the millisecond, to the nanosecond, and to the picosecond. Why do we do this? Well, humans suffer from the lone fear of running out of time. Something, especially us as young people, need to realize that our time isn't endless. As strong and as young as we aren't invincible. I've known young people who are taking away from me far too soon. As I mentioned before, I'm a marching band at Mile High. In the 2015 season, when I was a junior, there was a freshman student. His name was Dan Lee. Dan Lee was a bit awkward, but he was a nice kid, so we eventually made friends. I had heard that previously to attending Mount High School, Danny had cancer, but he was cured now, so as his friend, I was happy to hear that he no longer had to deal with that illness. A semester of the school year passed, and when we returned from winter break, Danny was literally nowhere to be found. He wasn't at school, and no social media, no cell phone. It was like he disappeared off the face of the earth. I asked around, and the word was that he was homeschooled now. Of course, there was more to the story. Little did I know that Danny's cancer had returned and he was in hospice care. Everything came to light in June of 2016 when I saw his obituary in the news. The shock of knowing my friend was gone was really hard for me. I never expected a friend to pass. How could someone so young and seemingly healthy pass away so quickly? I had seen him 6 months before his death. I do regret not pushing harder to find out what happened to him, and I regret not taking the time to find him and see him. And I really wish I had the chance to say goodbye to him. But something positive did come out of such a terrible tragedy. Danny made me realize now more than ever that we need to take opportunities in our lives because we don't know how much time we have. Danny's life was cut short, but he inspired me. He made me realize what we need to do. And he only had 15 years. Is there tomorrow to wait for? We can't know. Time can be cruel and take away opportunities from us, but why even wait for time to catch up? Time doesn't wait for you or anyone. problem I have now, that people wait too long, and they often wait until it's too late, and I can't do that anymore. I can't wait. I've been working my entire life so I can have the opportunity to go to university, so I can have the opportunity to become a physician, which is my dream job. One of the reasons I want to be a physician is because of how much I admire them. They give people a second chance at life. They revive time. Almost 2 years ago, a different friend of mine, her name was Dana, she was diagnosed with leukemia, and I was very devastated when I found out. She was one of the most honest and kind people I knew, and I knew she didn't deserve what she had. I went to visit her in treatment. This is us. And it was really hard for me to see her attached to so many machines. Her hair was just starting to fall out, and it was even harder when I couldn't give her a goodbye hug because her immune system was so weak from the chemotherapy. But I'm happy to say that eventually she grew stronger and stronger and stronger until Thanksgiving of 2015 she was deemed cancer-free. It was inspiring to see her recovery. She and the doctors worked together to make her fight possible, and she ended up a winner. Now she isn't wasting a minute of her life. She is loving the time that she has, and we all should be. Soon after she was cured, she returned to college. She's studying electrical engineering at the University of Portland. She's also close to her family. Her sister attends the same university. She is creating her own story and making herself happy. She is grasping every second of the time she has. You have to use your time wisely, or before you know it, it will slip out of your fingers. So what I'm trying to say here is that everything you do matters. There's a concept called the butterfly effect. Edward Lorenz is the scientist who proposed this. This is essentially the idea that the smallest change or action can have a mass effect. So Edward Lorenz is a meteorology professor at MIT, and while running weather simulations on his computer, he discovered that rounding off a single variable such as wind speed changed the course of the weather drastically over the course of 2 months. Changing a 10,000th of a decimal changed everything. And this applies to you too. Everything you do matters. Everything you do, it applies to the big picture. So, the opportunities you take, what you do to make them possible, and the time you take to achieve them, they tie into one thing, your destiny. Who you are meant to become, who you can be, and who you will be remembered as. And there's one thing we all need to do, and that's celebrate. Celebrate life, celebrate those around you, and celebrate each opportunity that arises. Celebrate time because, trust me, it doesn't give you much. But most of all, celebrate yourself and what you have to offer as an individual. Because I know that every single person, no matter what your age, no matter where you come from, and no matter who you are, every single person can do amazing things. Thank you.